Now that College Football 25 has been out for a week now, I've had a week's worth of gameplay. I wanted to share some tips to help you all have fun in your dynasty despite all the bugs in the sim engine, just with things we're seeing as far as results. And I am genuinely enjoying this game. And yes, there are some quirks which they will eventually patch, but in the meantime, I want to give you some tips to help you out in your dynasty journey. So number one thing to use here in Dynasty after a week's worth of gameplay is to force wins on top 25 games. Now, I would cap this at about 5 games per week. So basically, if you go over to the scores and schedules as you see here, it's a little bit harder in week 1 because there's so many games for top 25 teams playing FCS. But for week 1, I would probably just force the win for the ranked team, and then obviously the FCS will lose that game. But for other weeks, it becomes a lot easier. So what you have to do is just press A, and a little pop-up will come up, and it'll say to either force an away win or force a home win, or you can reset basically what you already set as the force win. This will allow you to kind of dictate what the results are. It kind of sucks having to do this, but it's kind of a way to get around those bugs we're seeing early on with the sim engine, and it will give you like realistic results. So no longer you will probably see Georgia 6-6 at the end of the year. If you go ahead and use this engine to kind of force wins, yes, you have to do it each week, but think of it as just a normal weekly routine and just do it for a max of 5 teams. Allow the other matchups in the top 25 to kind of dictate themselves. Just choose 5. That's kind of what I use. Just use the 5 games each week. Number 2 thing on this list is don't low lock cheese 4 stars. If you're new to College Football 25, I'm going to explain a little bit and give a little example of what low lock cheese is. So basically, low lock cheese is when you add players to your board that you can actively see that nobody is recruiting. So let's just give you an example here as I'm in my Wisconsin dynasty. The number 34 ranked player has no scholarship offers. So we're just going to go ahead and add him to our board. In real life, the number 34 player in the country would have 20 offers by this time. We're in week number 4 of this series now. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to add all the guys, which there's actually quite a bit in the top 100. There's 8 of them that have no scholarship offers that are 4 stars. And we're just going to go ahead and just recruit them really quick. We're just going to send the house. I'm kind of fast forwarding through this, and I'm offering them a scholarship. We're now going to sim through just 2 weeks. 2 weeks. We're now simulating to week 6, as you can see on my screen here. And with each of these recruits, as we load up the recruiting screen, you will see the progress that we made in just 2 weeks, just from low lock cheesing. We're first in every single recruit on our board, every single one. We sent the house on every recruit. They were not getting offers at week 4. I just added them to my board and just started recruiting them. And all of a sudden I have 8 4 stars, which is insane. So this system, I know a lot of YouTubers are kind of, giving tutorials on how to recruit, but I highly suggest not doing. This is just a way to cheese the system. It's just cheese. And I just don't like this method just for the realistic sake. Like, there's no way you're going to, be able to recruit guys like this. I would genuinely do it. Basically, just fill your recruiting board up to 35 at any point and maybe send your scouts on recruiting trips and do it that way, not low lock cheesing. So the next thing I have on the list is, this is a pretty simple one. It's just to create a custom playbook. As you know, a game probably has roughly less than 100 plays a game. You're probably not going to hit that in College Football 25. So what you can do is literally create custom playbooks and allow yourself to have a different game plan each game. Use the entire playbook. It'll allow each team to kind of play different defenses on you as well. Yeah, you're trying to win, but you also want to play to the strengths of your team. And if you're running some plays that work great against another team, doesn't mean they're going to work against every team. The adaptive AI is great in this game. The next thing I have on this list, number 4, is use the play call cooldown and play call limit. This kind of goes hand in hand with the custom playbook. So if you have that custom playbook, you have 500 plays at your disposal. Now, what you want to do is kind of limit yourself on if you can call repeat plays, because yes, you can cheese the computer all day with a play you know is a money play, but what fun is that, especially in a dynasty? So here's an example here. I am playing Rutgers here on the road. I run this draw play up the middle on freshman. I get the first down. So then I go back into the play, and you can see right here, the halfback draw on the way right play there on the far right does not have a button to select. 0 uses left because I had that play call limit on 1. I can no longer call that play. So it allows you to, and it forces you to call a legit game plan and not just be running the same plays all the time. It's a lot of fun. The next point I want to make your dynasty fun despite the bugs is to start on the slowest coach progression. Out of the box, there are 5 speeds as far as XP goes. There is slowest, there is slower, normal, fast, and fastest. So as you can see here, I have adjusted that slider way to the left to the slowest. To me, it kind of gives you the realistic progression for coaches, because from what I see, when you are on the slowest setting, especially when you're creating a new coach, you're getting an upgrade every 3 to 4 games. And it allows you to kind of have a longevity, kind of a long walkway to be a good coach, not necessarily cheesing your way to the top or even just upgrading all these recruiting things. It really makes you stop and think, because now upgrading your coach really matters, and where your points go truly does play a role in the long-term build. The next thing I want to highlight, and it's the final thing on this list, it is to persuade players to transfer. So if you go to the offseason, after your offseason, you have your recruiting, you have your training, you have your position changes. Now at the final stage, you have the encouraged transfer stage. So basically in this stage, what you can do is, instead of cut players like they had back on NCAA 14 and all the previous games, you can now encourage transfers. So basically what this means is that if you have a position battle, or you just recruited this awesome quarterback, this freshman quarterback, you know you're going to play him right away, and this senior that's down on the recruiting on the depth chart is not going to play, you can encourage them to transfer. So we're going to test this out right here in this video. Tyrell, no, I'm not going to play him this year. He's not going to get much playing time as a senior. I want to do right by him, allow him to transfer and get some playing time elsewhere where he will get that playing time. And then I also go over to quarterback, and I really like this freshman that I have at quarterback. I don't know what it is. So Braden Locke, I'm sorry, you're probably not going to play this year. I'm going to encourage him to transfer. So now advance on to the regular season, and you will see that your players you encourage to transfer are now on other rosters. Looking at this, Braden Locke actually decided to transfer to Memphis, where he is the highest rated quarterback, which means he will be a starter for Memphis right away in year 1. So no longer are you just cutting guys and they just disappear from the game. You're actually encouraging guys to transfer, and they actually do go on to another team. Now, I don't know the logic behind what team they pick, but in this example here, Tyrell Henry also decided to go to Memphis. So he picked a spot where he was the #1 corner receiver, and now it's a receiver quarterback combo that kind of transferred over to Memphis. I thought that was pretty cool in this example, actually. I did not expect that at all. So that is going to do it. Just 6 things to help you keep enjoying your dynasty despite the bugs. I hope you guys are having a good time with this game. I am, even though, yes, there are some issues. Those will get addressed, but this is just a way to have fun around those bugs. Hit subscribe, hit that like button. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a comment down in the comment section below. Stay tuned. Let's get it. Let's go.